Hey there, welcome to another episode of Legends with Elroy. Today I'm excited to tell you another story about Billy Bob the Knight. Now this one starts as Billy Bob was taking a little bath. At this bath I was taking a bath all about a Saturday night. So Billy Bob made his way over to the front door. And he opened the front door, and there before him stood Barry the Brown Bear. And Barry said, "How are you doing today, Billy Bob?" "Oh, I see that you're wearing a bath towel. That towel is very nice. Reminds me of one of my favorite bath towels. Oh, to take a bath. You know, I was only a little cub at the time, but I had my favorite little rubber ducky, and it was such a wonderful time. I had my own little singing song too, you know. I could hear you singing when I walked up, and it's one of those wonderful little songs you sing. No, it just reminds me of good days." And as he said this, he just kind of looked off. And Billy Bob said, "Well, I love hearing this story, but, what exactly are you here for?" And Barry said, Oh, I'm so sorry. As you know, I get distracted so easily. You know, even earlier today, someone was ordering some bone broth. And I said, "Lad, how much bone broth do you want?" And he told me how much. He said 4. And I just started explaining why 4 was such a lovely number. And it reminded me of a song from my youth. And Billy Bob said, "Barry?" He said, "Oh, Billy Bob, there I go again. I apologize. You see, Billy Bob, I'm here because I have met a new friend, and I think that he could use your help." Billy Bob said, "Well, in what way could he use my help?" And Barry said, "Well, you see, I was at one of those little sporting events, you know, because see, the thing is, a lot of people really like bone broth because it's good for you and you can get much better, stronger bones and just be much healthier because of it. And so I was, of course, there with my booth and I was selling bone broth when I met this great lad. And he has his own product. And I think that you should talk to him because, you know, Billy Bob, people trust you. And ever since you started telling people about my bone broth, people have started buying it even more. Not to mention, of course, the bone broth has been good for you, has it not, Billy Bob?" And Billy Bob said, "Yes, well, it has been very good." So they set off because Barry said that there was this place nearby that this other guy would be. So they arrived, and it was another one of those sporting events. There were little rabbits racing turtles, and there were monkeys seeing if they could lift more than elephants. The elephants won. And there were many other similar things such as that. There was even a mouse that was trying to jump over a giraffe. But at the other side of the field, there was a little table. And on the table were these little bottles, and above the bottles was a creature. It was an elk. Now, if you haven't seen an elk, they're quite like a deer. If you haven't seen a deer, they're something like a horse, but much more graceful. They have 4 legs, and they are thin, but they bound quite beautifully through the meadows. Now, this was an elk, and they're a little stronger than deer. And so Billy Bob came up on the elk, and he said, "Hello there." And Barry walked up as well. And he said, "Let me introduce you, Billy Bob. This, my friend, is Ezra the Elk." And Billy Bob said, "Ezra, it is a pleasure to meet you." And Ezra said, "Oh, thank you, Billy Bob. Well, as you see, I am here with my product. Barry, have you told him about it?" And Barry said, No. I thought I would let you tell about it. Because you see, one time I told somebody something that I should have let the person who actually knew more tell about it. And it was quite a disaster. I mean, let me tell you, it was about something to do with dusters, and I was telling everybody about this product, and people just didn't understand because I was the one. And Ezra said, Barry, excuse me, but I would like to tell you. And Barry said, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. And so Ezra said, you see, Billy Bob, when I was just a little creature, a fawn as they say, I would run around and I would have so much fun, but I would be tired afterwards. But then one day, a thought hit me. What if I made a special elixir and I named it Ezra's Elixir? And within this elixir, it had all these important things like electrolytes and all kinds of stuff so that you could drink it and it could help rebuild everything so that then you could get out there and do some more running around and a lot of fun stuff like that. And Billy Bob said, well, that's actually quite a good idea. Is that what this is? And Ezra said, yes, it is. And you try one free right now on the house. And Billy Bob had a sip. And he thought, this stuff tastes quite good. And Ezra said, it does, but even more than that, it's good for you. You see, because of that you're drinking, it's going to help replenish some of those vital things that you've lost as you've been walking here with like sweat and other things like that. And you're going to be able to get out there and do some more stuff because of it. And so Billy Bob said, that actually makes quite a bit of sense because, of course, when you sweat and stuff, you lose a lot of sodium. And, of course, there are all the electrolytes and stuff that you need when you're out there doing stuff and getting stuff done. Why, I actually feel quite a bit better as it is. Less groggy, you could say. So then Billy Bob went out and he jumped over the giraffe. Quite better than the mouse had done. It turned out that the mouse was quite unhappy because he thought that he was going to win, and Billy Bob won instead of the mouse. He also went and he picked up an elephant. Now, I don't really know if this was because of the elixir, because the elixir didn't really give you special strength or anything like that. Billy Bob just happened to be quite strong. And so he came back and he said, Ezra, I really like this product of yours. You know what? Do you mind if I start telling people about it? And Ezra said, that would be fine, Billy Bob. And Barry said, wait. Why don't we go even a step further? We will sell Ezra's Elixir and bury the brown bear's bone broth together. We can have like a big billboard up, have a picture of Billy Bob, and in one hand he'll have a pot of bone broth, and in the other hand he'll have a little glass or a bottle of the elixir. And everybody thought it was quite a good idea because, the billboards had been working out quite well for Barry, and they thought that they could go together and that they could both at the same time really advance the product line was a good idea. Not to mention, Billy Bob actually really liked the products, and they were good too. So, anyways, Billy Bob set off and he went home. And he decided it was time to take a rest. What? Oh, who is that? But that, my friends, it's a story for another day. Well, I'll see you guys in the next episode of Legends with Elroy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya.